Hey there, my third grade artists. We're going to be starting a new project. So we're going to be doing our rodeo art. We're going to make these snakes. Let me show you. If you look closely where the scales of the snake would be, I stamped some texture on here. So we're going to be talking about a little bit about texture as well. So rodeo art is a contest that we do every year, and where the livestock show, the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo comes down, and they judge some of the artwork that we submit to them, and it has the opportunity to possibly go downtown for lots and lots of people to see, and also to win some money. So I want you guys to try your hardest to do your best on these snakes so we can have some winners here at Bamel Elementary. I picked 10 pieces that go down to the district, and then from there they handle who goes to the rodeo. So let's go ahead and let's get started. Okay, so the materials that you're going to need for this project are a white piece of paper, a pencil and eraser, brown paint for sure, water to clean off your brushes, and some stamps. Now, if you don't have stamps at home, you can get creative and you can make some out of cardboard. I just peeled off a layer to make this texture. I used hot glue to put these little dots on that one. I glued some yarn down on here. Or you could use a sponge even, that would put a texture on there. You could go outside if you don't have any of this at home. And you can use a rock, bark, or leaves, or anything that might have a texture you could use. I'm going to use ink on mine. If you don't have ink, that's fine. You can use paint instead. That's why I got this green paint out. And if you don't have paint or ink at home, you could use a crayon. And you could do a rubbing technique where you put the paper over your texture. I'll put it over the rock. You put your paper over the textured item, and then you peel the paper off of your crayon, and you kind of rub it, and it'll put a little texture on your paper like that. So there's lots of different ways you can put texture onto your snake. Different techniques you can use. Today I am going to use these rubber stamps because I have them. I'm going to utilize them to put the scales on my snake. I picked out a flower, an ice cream, and a little lacy sort of stamp. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to draw our snake. Your snake is going to go long ways on your paper. And in the bottom corner of your paper, right over here, we're going to start with the head. The head's just going to be a triangular shape. Real easy to do. Just, it's a triangular shape, but instead of having sharp corners, we rounded off the corners of our triangle. Then we're going to do some big round eyeballs. And a tongue. You're just going to do a squiggly line for the tongue. And snakes' tongues kind of branch off, they fork off. So you might put little points like that. They taste with their tongue and they smell with their tongue, and that's why they do that. They have little sensors on them where they can smell things with their tongue. Then we're going to put a little nose on it with just some dashes. Now snake eyes, they're not round like our eyes. The inside of them, the pupils, they're actually more like sharp ovals or cat eyes. They're a lot like cat eyes. So you're gonna put sharp ovals inside of your circles like that. Okay. All right, now we're gonna do our body. Our body is gonna be pretty simple. We're gonna start about right here on our head, and we're just gonna wind and twist and turn a big long line. Just like that. And then you're gonna mimic that line with another line starting about right here. You're gonna mimic that line, so you're gonna mock it, do the same exact line, going up and around. All right, so we're gonna be making some rattlesnakes. Rattlesnakes have little rattlers on them. Let me fix my snake real quick. It look a little nicer. The rattles are sort of like a warning for predators, or if they're feeling threatened, they will rattle their tail, and that's kind of like a warning saying, watch out, I'm here and I'm not nice. So that's why rattlesnakes have those rattlers on them. So at the tip of our tail here, we're gonna put a rattle, and it's gonna be real easy to do. We're just gonna do some simple ovals. So you're gonna start with one oval about this large, and then you're gonna do a few more ovals, and you're gonna make them smaller the further you go out. See how that one's smaller than that one? And we're just gonna keep making them smaller, just like that. That's a little rattle for our snake. All right. So now that we have our snakes drawn, we're gonna get our stamps out. Now, whatever you chose to use as a stamp, you're gonna get it out and pick 3 different colors of paint. It can be any colors you would like. Paint or stamps, or stamp ink, whatever you might have. I have green, magenta, and like a orangey yellow. And then pick 3 different types of stamps. I'm gonna start with my flower stamp, and I'm gonna start with my magenta. And I'm just gonna press this stamp all over my snake to create texture. Just like that. You can overlap your stamps too to make some nice texture. You can I'm going up all the way on the snake. I'm even putting it on my head of my snake as well. It's okay to go outside of the lines because we're gonna paint over it. You see I've got some that are going outside of my pencil lines. That's okay because we're gonna paint over that. Okay, once you have your snake all textured out with that first stamp and the first color, you're gonna go to the next color. And the next stamp. I'm gonna go with the ice cream cone and my green ink, and I'm gonna go and I'm gonna stamp over it. Oops. I'm stamping over what I've already done. This is just gonna add more texture and more interest to our little snakes. And I'm just gonna go through the whole thing again. See how it's adding more interest to our snake compared to over here. All right, so go ahead and stamp all the way through to the end. Once you have the second stamp stamped all the way through, you're going to take the third stamp and the third color, and you're going to stamp through that. With mine, because it's already so dense and patterned, I'm going to just go down the spine of the snake, because sometimes snakes have patterns on them. Most of the time they do. So I'm just going to go down the spine like it has a line down its back. Just like this. You can also, if you don't want to do that, you can stamp all the way through it like you did the other ones and just add a third layer of texture. But doing this line down its back, it'll also add movement to my piece. Okay, once you have all of this done, we're going to go ahead and we're going to paint the background of our snake. We're going to use some brown paint, and we're just going to completely cover the background in brown paint. Go all the way up to your pencil line and go over the stamps, if there's stamps past the pencil line, just so that we can get the form of our snake back. And this way our snakes will pop off the paper a little better. Once you have finished painting the background where your snake kind of pops out against it, you are going to paint the eyeballs and the tongue and the little rattle back here, okay? I got some yellow, green, and red paint. So those are the colors I'm going to use. So the eyeballs, I'm going to paint them yellow. Just so they kind of like pop out against the head of the snake. And I'm going to clean my brush off, and I'm going to paint the rattle is going to be yellow as well. Actually, before you clean your brush off, I'm going to paint my rattle yellow. And my tongue will be red, and the inner part of my eyeballs will be green. And then once you have all that painted, you're also going to paint your pencil lines green. So you're going to trace your snake with green paint like this. You don't have to, it doesn't have to be green. It could be you could trace it with the red or the yellow as well, or whatever color you're using, orange. Just trace your snake with whatever color you have. Once you have finished tracing your snake with the paint, you can add some texture to your sand if you would like. I went ahead and used my little stamp I made and some yellow paint to add that texture. You can also put little polka dots on the scale or the line that you did, just to add some interest. And there you have it. That should be your snake. Once you have finished your project, go ahead and take a picture of it and email it to me, or upload it in that assignment folder I put on Schoology. All right, until next time, bye.